It's Friday, February 14th, 2020. This is episode 29 of Make Space Boring. Remember, we are on a mission to make space boring. That means having people use space products, space-made products, and go to space jobs just like they do today with terrestrial items. So let's see. This is about who I met and what I learned in the space field. And in the last couple of days, I caught up with Bryant Baker. He's a space lawyer, and I wanted to mention him. He's got an upcoming episode we've already recorded that will be coming out. He is an Air Force JAG and a space lawyer, and he is interested in producing blog content or something to educate us about space law, and he's curious what we want to know about. And my reaction to that is, duh, I don't know what I don't know. So it's very difficult for me to point at something and say, yes, you should talk about this. However, I do want to spread the word that he is interested in doing that, because there may be more educated eyes and ears than mine that will come back and say, hey, Bryant, you should go and make content about this. So I'll link in the info below to Bryant, and you can go and chat with him there if you have some suggestions. I recorded yesterday with Clint, who is the Vice President of First Impressions. Yes, that is a real title, and we explain what the deal is with it, of ExoAnalytic Solutions. Very interesting company. It's not a giant business, but everybody seems to know about it, and Doug Lavero was on the board there before he got the manned spaceflight job at NASA. So very interesting conversation. They are, as I discovered in the process of asking questions, they are taking care of tracking and a little bit of space traffic management for high altitude orbits for space objects, rather than, say, a LEO Labs, which concentrates more on the low Earth orbit. So very cool conversation there. They're doing a little bit of simulation as well. I was pleased to see Istvan Lorincz, co-founder of Morpheus Space in Europe, book again to be on. We'll be recording in May for that. He was going to be on pretty early when I switched the podcast over to focus entirely on space and small sats. But then the company had a bunch of good stuff happening, and he was like, I want to talk about these events, but I can't right now. Can we kick this forward into the future? Well, the future has come. So during the night, I saw that he had rebooked again. So very cool. He's a doctor of space and astronautical engineering, focusing on propulsion. So very, very cool. I'm going to be catching up with Matthew Travis, who has been a guest on the Cold Star project in, I don't know, an hour or something like that. See where he's at. Very interesting business with Phoenix there. And we'll see what he's up to. Big week next week. I'm going to click forward in my calendar. Yeah, we've got 3 guests booked for that week. So that gap of episodes being recorded and being released is getting wider and wider. Again, I'm not too sure what to do about that, but we'll try and get stuff out in a timely way. And I really am glad with how the show is doing. People are sharing it. People are commenting on it. I'm also working on a fun thing, kind of a goofy thing. Some of you have seen it privately. I've shared it. I'll be probably releasing that next week. I want to get a few episodes of it recorded and put into a little playlist before we release that. By the way, something that may be useful to you that you may not know about, the Cold Star project on YouTube is a video show. A lot of people only know it as an audio show, and when you go into an audio platform, there's that super long, what I call the toilet paper roll list of episodes, and it's like 100 and some episodes in that. And it's like, oh, how do you chop that up so that I find the things that are relevant to me? Well, I've done that for you, but it's on YouTube. Okay, you can't go to Spotify or iTunes and find little playlists like that. But on YouTube, I have chunked it up into playlists. For example, Space Policy has its own. I think there's 5 or 6 episodes in there with the space lawyers and folks that I've talked to. And Clint's will go in there. That we just recorded yesterday, because there was a chunk about space policy that I feel is very relevant. And so go to YouTube. It is also a video show. You can see our smiling faces, and it enables me as an educator to be able to chunk out the information a little bit more. You may find that there is a category that's more relevant to you rather than having to wade through the sea of episodes, right? That's one problem of producing a ton of content, being consistent over a couple years. Anyway, that's it for me. Happy Valentine's Day. My Valentine is space, so I will be talking to you next week.